All right, what I've got here is, I believe this is a mid-90s Danelectro U3. I think this was formerly Silver Sparkle, but has aged to this really cool gold. I don't know, it's really hip looking. So I figured what I would do was just sort of take you through the guitar from nose to tail here, and just kind of, give you a feel for any marks or dings or whatever that it has, and also any features. So starting up here at the headstock, we've got the typical Danelectro 3 on a side. This is an older instrument. This is it's coming up on 30 years old. So it's got some spots here on the headstock where, your typical stuff. You take it off, you smack the ceiling, or you smack a ceiling fan that's going, which looks like it might be the case. It's got some nicks there, kind of cool. This guitar has Goto tuners, which is a nice addition. A lot of these Danelectros just have kind of cheap, whatever they have laying around kind of tuners. So that's cool. We have a metal nut. I tend to think that might be aluminum. It's not brass, or because it's kind of grayish. So pretty cool there. So that gives you a little more of that fretted note kind of sound when it's when your strings are open. Let's see what else we got here. Rosewood board. No skunk stripe or anything. So the truss rod, which I believe this guitar has, I'm not 100% certain. I have to check the spec sheet, but the adjustment would be under here, I think. So actually, I don't know. Maybe it's that screw that's holding the nut on. I don't know. Maybe it's buried on the heel end here. Frets are pretty big for a guitar like this, which is nice, which really kind of helps with the playability a little bit. Strap button is sort of right here, which is kind of an odd spot, but given this giant neck joint, which is cool, it's a pretty logical spot to put it. We've got 3 lipstick pickups. Again, this is a U3. Most of this model that were produced, I think, were U2s, so just 2 pickups. It's got a nice adjustable bridge, nothing too fancy or complicated. It's got a little bit of a bend in it. I don't know if you can see here, but this base plate, it's got a little bit of curvature to it. Again, this is an older instrument and was not a particularly expensive guitar when it was produced, so it's got its quirks. But if you're looking at a Danelectro, you're looking for quirky anyway. So pick guard has this kind of extra aged yellowing to it. Some of this tape along the outside or along the edge, has some damage to it. Again, it's your typical spots. You hit the table with it accidentally or whatever. Just stuff you typically expect to see on a guitar of this age. It is what it is. If some people like pristine stuff, some people think it adds a little character. I tend to be in that camp. It's got a little bit of very light buckle rash, nothing really serious. And the little electronics plate here has got some marks on it, but overall, I think this is probably in pretty good shape. Considering who it was probably initially purchased by or for, which maybe was maybe a younger kid just starting out playing, or somebody that was just looking for something kooky to kind of knock around a little bit. So without further ado, we'll get into some tones. So we have a 6-way selector. So that's going to give us the back pickup. Let's hear that first. This guitar's got new strings, and so that means it is out of tune. Let me tune her up real quick. This is what you came for, right? I want to hear some guy tune. All right. much better. So I forgot to mention, even just acoustically, it's got a very nice, kind of bright, mid-rangey sort of sound to it. Very cool. All right. Position 2. So this will be these two pickups, back 2. Next is the middle by itself. Usually middle pickups don't get a lot of love. I think this one sounds pretty cool by itself. A little lead on the other ones I missed. Back pickup. Position 2. Alright, so middle position we did already. Next one will be the front 2. Front pickup. And then the last position, I believe, are the outer 2. So you can hear that bite from the back pickup, and you hear that big, warm sound of the front pickup. And then last but not least, we've got a switch here that bypasses the pickup selector and turns all 3 pickups on. It's a nice, loud, bold sound, but just what else sounds like that? Super cool. A little compression. I turned some effects on. I'm just goofing around with some pretty standard plebe type pedals. Nothing real fancy. I bet this would do that kind of I bet it'll twang a little. About as twangy as I get. So, I don't know, I guess moral of the story here, there are a lot of really just different sounds in this thing. You know, next position. I'm doing all these with the blower on. It's like, why wasn't it sounding different? So some kind of stratty sounds. And some, you know, I guess this last one sounds a little bit like a 355 to me. 335, whatever. All right, so the next question I generally ask, because that's just what I am, will it shred? Let's see. So I'm playing through a Marshall JVM. I've got a little bit of the reverb going. So there's a lot of sound. I have a bunch of pedals right next to the amps. I think this guitar might just be a little noisy anyway. Again, it's old. It's single coils. Will it shred? Back pickup. Front pickup. Tube screamer. Yeah, it'll shred. What's it sound like with a blower switch on in shred mode? I guess the answer to that question is absolutely not like anything else on the planet. So anyway, thanks for looking. I'm sorry this was like really kind of slapdash and put together. I didn't really plan much out for this. But this is just a cool guitar. I mean, there's just no bones about it. It weighs nothing. I mean, it's maybe it's 6 pounds. I don't know, but you know, the body being hollow, it's still not neck heavy. So you know, the neck doesn't dive. I feel like the CG of the thing is pretty close to between the strap buttons, which is where you want it to be. It looks like $1 million. It's just too dang cool. You know, I don't know if the camera's really doing this finish much justice, but it's wild. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and sorry I rambled on for a half hour like a nutcase, but cheers. Have a good one.